It was the last automobile that was really built on the garage floor. From here on, cars were really engineered on computers. But this car was built really at the skill of all of the mechanics who were basically a bunch of hot rod guys in California who had raced at the lakes in Indianapolis. We got started with the idea. Carroll wanted to go to Europe, and we knew that the Roadsters weren't fast enough to compete with the Ferraris. We only had a top speed with the Roadsters of about 165 miles per hour. So I explained to Carroll, I said, I think we can get some free horsepower at the top end, but you may not like the looks of the car because it's a pretty strange idea. And he just said, I don't care, is it going to be fast? And I said, I think it will be. But nobody's ever built a car that looks like this in the modern age. Actually, the design concept came from the Germans in the late 1930s. So when I drew it up and showed it to everybody in the shop, they all refused to work on it. They thought it was so ugly. So actually, it was Ken Miles, myself, and a young New Zealand kid named John that built the buck up for the car. And we did all the initial work on it and took it out to Riverside and, of course, tested it. It was about, 3.5 seconds a lap faster than our Roadsters. And at that point, Carroll said, okay, everybody's going to work on the car. And we got it all completed. It was done in 90 days. And we took it to Daytona. And, of course, it ran away from the Ferraris down there. So we actually backed the power down. And when we did that, we got about 25% better fuel efficiency. So if you look at it now, everybody thinks it's a pretty cool looking car, but it was a radical change with the back end chopped off. But now if you look at all modern automobiles.
Of course. And even after this one, everything looked like that. And this was at a point in Carroll Shelby's life where, at that point, I think health issues had started by then.
Well, Carroll's health issues had really started by 59.
Yeah.
He knew at Le Mans when he'd won this last race there in 59 that he was going to have to quit racing. So he was a very interesting guy to work for because he thought if you had a project to do it, he'd let you do it the way you wanted to do it. He knew actually knew very little about cars, but if he had enough trust in you, he'd let you do it. So he let me start on the idea, and of course there was so much resistance from this great group of guys we had in the shop who were probably the best collection of race car builders in the world that there was a lot of question whether the car would get built or not. But since we didn't have any time, he said, oh, we'll go ahead and get it done. And then it turned out that it was fast, and we built 5 more. So there were only 6 of them built.
Could you do something like this today? I don't think you can.
Well, I think this is one of the problems we have in American racing right now. It's way over-regulated, and the rules are far too restrictive.
Agreed.
So when you look at a car like the Delta Wing, which was designed by Ben Bowlby, which is a complete new sheet of paper, again, there's a lot of resistance to the car, but it's an idea that people are now beginning to accept. But when you come with something radical, it's ridiculed at first, then it's vociferously opposed, and then finally it becomes self-evident that the car is very successful, and it goes ahead. So it's a wonderful thing that goes on. It's not just an automobile design, it's architecture, it's art, it's music, it's whatever you want to come up with. If you make a great change, those are the 3 stages it goes through, and it's always fun to see that. It doesn't matter whether you're doing impressionistic painting or great music, that's what it does. So we love doing it.